Hello friends, warm welcome in this video, that is the nitrogen in environment. This video is the part series of lectures on nitrogen fixation. So friends, before learning the actual topic, we will see some basic terms which are related with this concept. So very first term is the industrial fixation. Industrial fixation means the industrial conversion of molecular nitrogen to ammonia. Then second term is atmospheric fixation. Lightning and photochemical conversion of a molecular nitrogen to nitrate is called as atmospheric fixation. Third term is biological fixation. Prokaryotic conversion of a molecular nitrogen to ammonia is nothing but the biological fixation. The fourth term is plant acquisition. Plant absorption and assimilation of ammonium or nitrate is called as plant acquisition. The fifth term is immobilization. Microbial absorption and assimilation of ammonium or nitrate is called as immobilization. Then next term is ammonification. Bacterial and fungal catabolism of soil organic matter to ammonium is called as ammonification. The next term is nitrification. Bacterial oxidation by bacterial species such as Nitrosomonas of ammonium to nitrate and subsequent bacterial oxidation like Nitrobacter species of nitrite to nitrate is called as nitrification. The next term is mineralization. Bacterial and fungal catabolism of a soil organic matter to mineral nitrogen through ammonification or nitrification is called as mineralization. Then next term is volatilization. Physical loss of gaseous ammonia to the atmosphere is nothing but volatilization. Next term is ammonium fixation. Physical embedding of ammonium into soil particles is called as ammonium fixation. The next term is denitrification. Bacterial conversion of nitrate to nitrous oxide and molecular nitrogen is called as denitrification. And final term is nitrate leaching. Physical flow of nitrate dissolved in groundwater out of the topsoil and eventually into the oceans is termed as nitrate leaching. So now we will see this concept in detail. Nitrogen is present in many forms in the biosphere. The atmosphere contains vast quantities, about 78% by volume of a molecular nitrogen, N2. For the most part, this large reservoir of nitrogen is not directly available to living organisms. Acquisition of nitrogen from the atmosphere requires the breaking of an exceptionally stable triple covalent bond between two nitrogen atoms, N triple bond N, to produce ammonia, that is NH3, or nitrate, that is NO3 negative. These reactions are known as nitrogen fixation reactions, which can be accomplished by both industrial and natural processes. So why the nitrogen is required? Many biochemical compounds present in plant cells contain nitrogen. For example, nitrogen is found in the nucleoside, phosphates and amino acids that form the building blocks of nucleic acids and proteins respectively. Only the element oxygen, carbon and hydrogen are more abundant in plants than nitrogen. Most natural and agricultural ecosystems show dramatic gains in productivity after fertilization with inorganic nitrogen, attesting to importance of this element. Higher plants are autotrophic organisms that can synthesize their organic molecular components out of the inorganic nutrients obtained from their surroundings. For many mineral nutrients, this process involves absorption from the soil by the roots and incorporation into the organic compounds that are essential for growth and development. This incorporation of mineral nutrients into organic substances such as pigments, enzymes, cofactors, lipids, nucleic acids and amino acids is termed as nutrient assimilation. Assimilation of some nutrients, particularly nitrogen and sulfur, requires a complex series of biochemical reactions that are among the most energy requiring reactions in living organisms. In nitrate, that is NO3 negative assimilation, the nitrogen in NO3 negative is converted to a higher energy form in nitrite, NO2 negative, then to yet a higher energy form in ammonium, NH4 positive, and finally into the amide nitrogen of a glutamine. This process consumes equivalent of 12 ATPs per nitrogen. Plants such as legumes form symbiotic relationship with a nitrogen fixing bacteria to convert molecular nitrogen into ammonia. Ammonia is the first stable product of natural fixation at a physiological pH. However, the ammonia is a protonated to form the ammonium ion. The process of a biological nitrogen fixation together with a subsequent assimilation of ammonia into an amino acid consumes about 16 ATP per nitrogen. Under elevated temperature about 200 degrees centigrade and a pressure about 200 atmospheres, N2 combines with hydrogen to form ammonia. The extreme conditions are required to overcome the high activation energy of the reaction. This nitrogen fixation reaction is called as Haber-Bosch process, is a starting point for the manufacture of many industrial and agricultural products. Natural processes fix about double the amount of nitrogen than the industrial processes. The natural processes of nitrogen fixation involves number 1, lightning. Lightning is responsible for about 8% of the nitrogen fixed. Lightning converts water vapor and oxygen into a highly reactive hydroxyl free radicals, free hydrogen atoms and free oxygen atoms that attack molecular nitrogen N2 to form nitric acid HNO3. This nitric acid subsequently falls to the rain called as acid rain. Second is photochemical reaction. Approximately 2% of the nitrogen fixed derives from photochemical reactions between gaseous nitric oxide NO and ozone O3 that produces nitric acid HNO3. Third is biological nitrogen fixation. The remaining 90% results from biological nitrogen fixation in which bacteria or blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria, fix N2 into ammonium NH4 positive. From an agricultural standpoint, biological nitrogen fixation is critical because industrial production of nitrogen fertilizers seldom meets an agricultural demands. So now we will see the nitrogen cycle. See the atmospheric nitrogen in the presence of lightning, it fixed and come with rain to the soil. This rain contains nitrogen compounds. Then the free living N2 fixers fix this nitrogen to the dead organic matter. These nitrogen compounds in rain in soil converts into ammonium, or the dead organic matter which is formed will by process of mineralization or ammonification converts into ammonium. This ammonium then converts into nitrite and get immobilized by bacteria and fungi to the roots, and the nitrite which is formed will get converted into nitrate. Nitrate may leach in the soil or nitrate may be absorbed by the roots of plants. Then denitrifying bacteria in the soil converts them into the atmospheric nitrogen. This atmospheric nitrogen may again fixed by industrial processes like Haber-Bosch process, or it may be fixed by the natural processes. In this way, this nitrogen cycle gets complete. Plants can store high levels of nitrate, or they can translocate it from tissue to tissue without a deleterious effect. However, if the livestock and humans consume plant material that is high in nitrate, they may suffer methemoglobinemia, a disease in which the liver reduces nitrate to nitrite, which combines with a hemoglobin and renders the hemoglobin unable to bind oxygen. Humans and other animals may also convert nitrates into nitrosamines, which are potent carcinogens. Some countries limit the nitrate content in plant material for human consumption. In contrast to nitrate, high levels of ammonium are toxic to both plants and animals. Ammonium dissipates transmembrane proton gradient that required for both photosynthetic and respiratory electron transport and for sequestering metabolites in the vacuole. Because high levels of ammonium are dangerous, animals have developed stronger aversion to its smell. The active ingredient in smelling salts, a medicinal vapor released under the nose to revive a person who has fainted, in ammonium carbonate. Plants assimilate ammonium near the site of absorption or generation and rapidly store any excess in their vacuoles, thus avoiding toxic effects of membrane and the cytosol. Ammonium toxicity can be dissipated pH gradients. In this figure, the left side represents the stroma matrix or cytoplasm, where the pH is high. The right side represents the lumen, intermembrane space or vacuole, where the pH is low, and the membrane represents the thylakoid inner mitochondria or tonoplast membrane for a chloroplast mitochondria or root cells, respectively. The net result of the reaction shows is that both the OH negative concentrations on the left side and H positive concentration on the right side have been diminished, that is, the pH gradient has been dissipated. Thank you.